go to the applications tab, applications drive of your Mac, and from there you can select Final Cut Pro. If you double click it, you will get Final Cut Pro. Okay, so this is what a timeline, this is what the interface of Final Cut Pro looks like. So now before starting to understand the interface and how to edit on Final Cut Pro, let us understand the workflow of editing on Final Cut Pro first. So the workflow is similar to any other editing workflow, but here you have to keep in mind certain things. So first you have the footage in your hard disk, hard drive, wherever you are having it. The FCP structure works like it starts with consolidating the footage, importing it and consolidating the footage, then viewing the footage, appending it to the timeline or replacing it to the timeline or editing into the timeline, viewing the edited clips, putting effects and transitions, doing the sound post-production of the video, and finally exporting it. So for that, the first part of the workflow is to organize your media. So FCP has a certain system of organizing the media. So here we come to the first window of FCP. So if you can see, there are these windows. See, this is the first window. There is this second window. There is this third window here. Nothing to inspect, it is written. We'll see, come to it. We can see one more window here. This is one more window, the audio meter, and the biggest window here we can see. We'll come to everything one by one. Okay. Now this is called project monitor or project window. Here your project is organized. So you can see different types of symbols and different types of levels are put here. First thing you need to know about Final Cut Pro is that it is organized as libraries, events and projects. So there are main chief libraries. This symbol, this 4 box symbol is a library symbol. It can be saved on your hard drive, or it can be also saved into the movie folder of your drive, where you can go from, you come to the toolbar, go to the go button, click home button, come to your username, come to movies, and you see this is the backup of all FCP libraries kept over here. So this symbol is an FCP library symbol. It's Final Cut Pro library, you can see it is written over here. Okay, let us come back to the software. So the libraries are like an offline library. It contains every material, it contains everything into that. Now these libraries have events. So let us try to create a new library first here. So we will go to File, New, and we'll select Library. So here it is giving me option to save in movies folder, or I can change, I can create, I can go away, and I can put it anywhere, wherever I wish, wherever I can keep anywhere. So always name your project. The first letter should be capital. Whatever you are doing, you name the library and you save the library. So you see here a new library is created, and it has given me already an event over here. Okay, I can create a new event also. So I can just click here, over here, and I go here and I click event. Now an event must be connected with a library. You can select a library whenever you are creating a new event. So here Default event name comes with date, but you should also rename it. And let me call it online lecture. So try not to change the name or the location of the event or the library when you are creating. Okay, so see, in demo library there's online lecture event is over there. Okay, and then I create a project in that event. Now the project has to be linked to the event. The event is already linked to the library, and the new project is linked to the event. I can select any event across the libraries whenever I have to create a new project. But I'll select this new thing and I will name it video lecture or video demo, let's suppose. So here you can see when you try to create a new project, FCP asks you what is the rendering, audio and rendering. So audio, stereo, 40 stereo sound, which means 2 channels, 48 kilohertz, this is the frequency of the audio, and ProRes 422, the codec. You can do a custom setting also, right? For films you can go for 24 fps. This is the timeline setting, the project setting. The project means the timeline where you are going to go and do actual editing. There can be only one sequence for one project. In one event you can have multiple projects. Okay, I'll show you those things also. And we say okay. Okay, so now we have a project inside an event which is inside a library. So these are all events, libraries containing events which contains different footages. We import the footage. Now here interestingly you see there is this button, this symbol, you will be coming to it quite constantly. So if I click this, you can see what is coming up here. See, background tasks. So now this is FCP's one of the capabilities, that it allows you to focus more and more editing and not on other aspects as compared to other softwares. So what here it is doing, it is transcoding and analyzing the footages that we have already selected while importing. So here whatever the background tasks, rendering or sharing or management, creating thumbnails well form, everything will be done like it is done here. You can close it, and while that you can start your editing. That is the background task FCP is doing on its own. Okay. Now in the next chapter we will see how to edit on FCP. Welcome to this lesson of the course from 16/9 Media Center. Let us see how can we edit, how do we edit in FCP, how do we play back, how do we review clips. So one, I have already explained that how do you import the footage into the library, and then how do you skim footages to watch the footage. Okay. Now here, let us start editing. So editing, as you have already seen in other softwares, editing you have to, the common buttons that we have in editing. So now I have played this clip. And this is the shot. There is another shot of this. So this lesson is not about shot selection, about the aesthetics of the film. This is purely a technical lecture on the on FCP. This bar you can see, this violet bar, this means the footage is not imported and analyzed fully, but you can play the footage. That is the beauty of the FCP. So we are just seeing, we are just showing you how to edit on FCP. Okay. So this is the first. So here I'm going with the back button and I put in and I play. So here I put out button. Generally, we do not take such a long portion of the shot, but we will edit it later. Okay. Now, so this footage, this in and out that I have pressed here, this I have to take down onto this timeline, this project that we call it. And here you see there are different sections you can see. So this is called, this black portion, this black track is called primary storyline. This is also magnetic tape. This is a magnetic timeline in FCP because it is, you will see what magnetic timeline is. But this is basically called primary storyline. Now the things above this track, the footages that will come above this track will be called secondary storylines. Okay, there will be audios and other things also. Or similarly in audio, primary audio storyline, secondary audio storyline. Okay, so here there are 2-3 ways. There are basically 4 ways you can bring down the footages. You can edit. So editing is basically you put in and out in each of the footage and you arrange it in a primary or secondary storyline. And you edit the film. This is what the basics of editing is. Now there are 4 ways you can edit the footage from the browser to the timeline. If you come to this toolbar, this middle bar, you can see there are different buttons and different shortcuts also. Let us see one by one. So I have selected this clip. If the yellow bar comes in, that means the clip is selected, and I come and click it over here. So what it did, by pressing the button Q, you can connect. The connect means it will come over the primary story. It will be connected to the primary storyline, but it will come over the primary storyline. Okay. This is still analyzing. Let us select. I'm pressing home, space bar, and I pressed I. So before this hand I want to cut. So I'm coming from the back arrow and I put O. Okay. So I've selected this. Let us come to the next button, which is insert or W. It comes wherever your scholar was. Suppose my scholar was here and I pressed W. It will come to the primary storyline. Insert will be primary storyline and it removes the other part. Suppose here, if I put it here and I press W. See, it cuts the clip wherever the cursor is and it places the in and out over there. Okay. The third one is append. Append the clip to the primary storyline, which is called E. The primary storyline is this. So that means it will bring the footage to here. But where it will bring, let's press E. and it append wherever your cursor is here. If you press E or if you press this button over here, this icon over here, it will bring to the end of your timeline. Okay. And the last is overwrite. So let's see, if I kept the cursor over here and I press this button, it overwrites the other clip. For example, the W, it inserted, it didn't delete any clip, it just moved the clip left or right. But here in overwrite, with the shortcut is D, if I press D, it deletes the existing, it overwrites the existing footage. So these are the 4 ways you can click. I'll select everything and I'll just delete and I'll start. So I had already selected in and out, it FCP remembers. I'm just placing it over here, then I come here and then I place it over here. Okay, and I'm not trying to build any story, I'm just showing you how you can edit on the timeline. And let us see this footage also. I press home to go to the first clip. I play with the timeline. So let us take from there. Okay. So before he goes, okay. We can also drag the footage, but it is very slow. Dragging is slow. Let us see this footage also. So let us bring this also. Let me press E. So this is our timeline. This is how our timeline is building up. Now we can hear director's instruction to the actors. That we don't want that. So we select a clip, we right click it and we do detach audio. Okay, here you can play with the audio, you can change the audio, you can delete the audio, you can put any other audio to the clip. So this becomes the primary audio storyline, this becomes the primary video storyline. Okay, I'm not deleting anything right now from here. So if I on the audio skimmer also, you can hear. If I switch off the audio skimmer, only the video skimmer is there. And it is a magnetic timeline. You can click lift from storyline to disconnect it from the primary storyline from the magnetic tape. Okay. I just did a series of Command Z. Now, suppose this is an edited clip. This is an edited story that you have. Okay, you can have Now see, I'm going to show you. So suppose here this bag they wanted, right? So here the character should sit here, the main character should sit here, but he is not here. And we want to show the back for the narrative storyline. So first thing what I am doing is I have pressed command and the plus sign, which zooms in the timeline. So if I press command and minus, it zooms out the timeline. So let me zoom into the timeline and use this slider to come to the portion where I am here. The audio is still there. I can see the waveframe. I can detach audio and see waveframe over here. And this audio I don't need because the audio is giving me. So backspace and delete. Now I will come to the other tools of this toolbar. Okay, so these are the four types of edits that you can do on the timeline. These are the tools. This is trim tool, position tool, range, blade, zoom and hand. These tools work same as other softwares. The range selection is a different tool that we can select only a range of the clip, and if we try to cut, we can select a range of the video or range of an audio, and we can do we can change that particular range. We can change the audio level or opacity level of the video also. Otherwise everything is same: trim, positioning. Let me bring back. Okay, so here I want to make audience feel that the character is sitting here, but actually inside the auto rickshaw the character is not sitting here. So here there is a tool. So if I select the clip and select it here, it allows me to zoom in or zoom out the clip. So suppose I zoom in, and from here itself I can change the position of the clip. Okay, and you can see one dotted line comes up over here. So because I have changed the structure, changed the magnification of the clip, so it is asking for rendering, and it if I go over here, I can see it is not rendering on its own. Sometime it happens. So I select the clip, I go to modify, I can use shift alt R, or I can just do render selection. So now here you see it rendered and the line is gone. So I do that so that it plays smoothly. So this kind of rocky footage. So see, we can see there is some kind of finger or a hand of the cameraman also come in. A kind of an unprofessional shoot, which most of you will be doing on your own if you do. So here there are more tools. So there is a crop tool over here, which crops the footage. Then I go back to transform and I transform it like this. I can, in the top logo, I can change the window size, and this is the final frame. This was the final frame, and I brought it here. So now it looks more that there might be some other person sitting over next to him. Now this footage, since it is shot inside the auto, it's very shaky. So one thing that you can do is go here into now this is the inspector. All the information about your footage is over here. Whenever you apply any effects, transitions also, it will be coming over here. It will be showing over here. So here there is a feature called stabilization. So once I click the stabilization, the message comes up that for this FCP is analyzing for dominant motion. That means whatever the main frame is, FCP will fix that frame and delete other frames, which will make it look like a stable frame. Let me go and render the selection. It is rendering, you can see it rendered, and now I can play. See, much smoother, but it has, because the shake was too much, it has ruined the footage. So I am not going to select stabilization, I am going to deset the stabilization, and I am going to be happy with this footage. So this is how you view, review, you decide, you trim. The most important parts of an editing, like I'm not getting into this because you have already edited on Premiere Pro, but you can, wherever your cursor is, you can go and Command B. If you select the footage and Command B, you can cut the footage, cut the clip into two parts, and trimming and everything is same as it is in FCP. Okay. So in the next lesson we will see how the color, how to color process, how what are the audio, some examples of audio editing, and how to export in FCP. Thank you. Happy learning.